Good evening, Wenatchee. Good evening, Wenatchee. All right. For those of you who don't know, I am Tony, or Testimony Tony. I've been out at a couple of these events already. Some of you have had the opportunity to hear me speak. Some of you haven't. Either way, I just want you to know that I'm very passionate of everything that I say, everything that I speak. So if I get emotional, just be patient with me. If I laugh or whatever, just be patient with me. First and foremost, I have to thank God for this opportunity. Without Him or my faith in Him, I would not be here. I can tell you that right now. Next, I definitely have to thank each and every one of you for being out here. This past week, it's been an eye-opener. Just recognizing and seeing the support for the people of color throughout this community, and not just in Wenatchee. I mean, in Leavenworth, even in Cashmere, Chelan. It's just so much support, and again, it's one of those reasons that has helped me to fall in love with being a resident of Washington State. So again, I thank you all so much for that. How many of us here know what the word faith means? You can raise your hand. Okay, that's a good amount. Google defines it in two ways. One, complete trust or confidence in someone or something. Two, strong belief in God or in the doctrines of a religion based on spiritual apprehension rather than proof. In other words, having faith. Proverbs 22:6 reads, "If you teach a child how they should live, and they will remember it all their life." That means something to me because it's something that my parents instilled in me at a very young age, and I'll get to that also. If I'm not mistaken, it was Pastor Mike of Sage Hills Church who taught us that fear is the absence of faith. Again, that means a lot to me because I recognize it and can admit to any and everyone that it was my faith who has gotten me this far in my life. It was my faith who even brought me to a place that I've never thought in a million years that I would step foot in. It was my faith that even gave me the energy to be up here in front of you guys. I had a conversation with a friend of mine in the Latinx community, and I just want to share what it was that she had to say. She said, "I've seen a lot of, I don't raise my kids to see color, quote unquote. I get it. We all want our kids to treat everyone with kindness. But may I offer a suggestion? Instead of raising them to not see color, how about we make a conscious effort to raise our kids to appreciate our differences?" Don't stifle their ability to be naturally curious about what's different than they are. I want my kids to celebrate and embrace the beauty in the diversity around them and learn how to have open, organic discussions about people, places, and things that aren't like them at a young age. Then, as adults, they'll have families and raise their kids to do the same. That cycle of openness and acceptance and appreciation moves into the next generation, and so on and so on. With that being said, I used those references because, again, it means a lot to me because it reminds me of how my parents raised me. I was a foster child at the age of 6 up until I graduated high school, went into the Air Force. At the age of 9 or 10 years old, I was already in my 3rd different foster home. After hearing specific social workers making comments of, you're just going to end up in jail, or you're just going to end up being in a gang, or your parents don't really love you, and I'm thankful that I ended up with parents who knew the difference. I'm thankful that I ended up with parents who had faith in me. They took the time to nourish. They took the time to listen. They took the time to teach. They took the time to love. They could have had that same mindset as those social workers, those same people who were supposed to be there to help me, but they didn't. They taught me what it meant to have a relationship with God. They taught me what it meant to be considerate to other people. They taught me what it meant to be helpful, to be ambitious, to look out for those who are in need. It's because of them that I am the man that I am right now. And as I read in Proverbs, again, if you teach a child what it is that they're supposed to learn when they're young, they will grow up to teach that exact same thing. I say that to say, I've had numerous reasons why I could have joined the gang, why I could have became violent, combative, aggressive, angry. And don't get it twisted. I've had my moments when I've been down. I think I'm, going on my 3rd or 4th year now, just stopped drinking alcohol. I appreciate that. I don't say that for an applause. I say that to say I recognize the struggle. I know how difficult life can be. But again, I don't choose to dwell in that. I don't choose to hold on to those feelings. It's my faith that brings me joy. It's my faith that helps me to smile. It's my faith that makes me want to stand up here and be open with you guys and be vulnerable with you guys. Or as we say back east, keep it real with you guys. But again, that means the world to me. So when I see videos like Gianna Floyd, how many of you have seen the video of her? She's on her uncle's shoulders, joyous of her father changing the world. How many of you seen that video? That video to me is, I can't even express it. I was telling my wife this morning, at the moment, anytime I even see that video, I hear that video, I think of that video. It fills me up with tears of joy. Because this same little girl has all the reason in the world to be upset. all the reason in the world to hate, all the reason in the world to be down on herself and depressed and just feeling like the world doesn't love her at such a young age. She has all the reasons to feel this way. Yet this little girl has a smile brighter than the sun itself. And that is why we have to change. That is why it's important for all of us to come together. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Latinx, tall, short, fat, skinny. I don't care. I, as an African American man in this state, in this country, I need each and every one of you at the table to discuss and figure out what it is that we need to do to make this change. We have so many young folks throughout this community. This isn't just about us. This isn't just about people of color. This is literally about everybody. Every person that has a child, a niece, a nephew, a grandson, a grandchild, whatever. With that said, all of us are still children. All of us are still children to this thing called life. All of us are still learning. I lie to you not. I'm still personally working on stuff like little jokes me and my wife have. I'm personally trying to stop doing those because it contributes to the cause. So again, we are all learning. This isn't just something towards our white community. This isn't just something towards the elderly. We are all learning. We are all children. And it's going to take all of us to be open to each other, to be considerate to each other, to be loving of each other, to be devoted and committed to each other. That's the only way this is going to work.